Hey YouTube, Satoshi Matrix here, bringing you yet another review. This time I'm bringing you a birthday present. Here is my Yobo FC-16 Go. This is the world's first portable Super Nintendo entertainment system. This is actually the second revision of it. It comes in 3 different colors, red, charcoal, and silver. I happen to have the charcoal one. It has a 3.5-inch LCD, and let's look at the back of the box to see what else it has. When you buy the system, it comes with the system itself, obviously. Really shitty headphones. It comes with a AV line that plugs into standard TV, and 2 wireless controllers. It's also powered by a 1300 milliamp lithium-ion battery, and comes with both the battery and the charger. So let's look at the system itself. So here it is. The first thing that you'll notice about it, is that it looks like a DS, looks like the original DS especially, except much larger, obviously. The second thing you notice about it is that it has a ridiculously reflective surface. The surface of it is just as reflective as the PS3s or the iPhones, or just about anything else these days. Now let's look at the system itself. It's got a 3.5-inch LCD, as said. It has a D-pad built right in, two stereo speakers. It has the 4 face buttons, start and select on the sides, and in the middle it has a reset button, which is actually pretty cool. On the side, it has the volume slider. There's your power and an LCD/TV switch. And there's your DC in. These are your 2 receivers for the wireless controllers. And here's your headphone port. Now let's look at the controllers it comes with. So here's one of the controllers. It's blinking because I just pressed one of the buttons. The controllers are actually remarkably similar to those of a real Super Nintendo. They are the same size, the same shape. They feel the same. They are remarkably similar. The only difference really between them is the placement of the start and select buttons. On the real controller, they're below, and on this controller, they're high. They're above. So yeah. Anyway, as mentioned, this thing will play Super Nintendo games. This will play original Super Nintendo games that you happen to have. So let's throw in Star Fox. Blow it for good luck. Plug it in, and this should work. And there it is, Star Fox. I don't know how good this video will turn out because the camera might be too bright for it. But the LCD in real life is actually remarkably clear. It's a really good quality product. I'm actually quite surprised. It's not quite as clear as that of a DS Lite or PSP 2000 or 3000, but considering this entire thing costs $60, what can you expect? So there's Star Fox, running flawlessly. And it is loud. That's the other thing about this system. Even when you turn down the volume, which I've done, the system still produces quite a bit of noise. So let's turn it off and try something else. Put in one of my favorite games of all time. Here is Donkey Kong Country 2. Blow in it, plug it in, and here's what the system looks like with the game cartridge plugged in. It plugs in about approximately, maybe a quarter of the way in. Let's turn it on, and there it is. One of the cool things about this system is the system can be played, both with the built-in controller, or you can use the wireless controller. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the ports to run real Super Nintendo controllers, which is kind of a shame, but I'm assuming it could be possible to hack it to do that, but anyway. One of the cool things about it is the system also comes with an AV line that plugs in to the top of my my AV connector, or my AV box I have. So let's plug this in all the way. You can hear it click into place. And let's turn on the TV. And I go to the switch here and switch from the LCD to the TV. There it is. There's Donkey Kong Country 2 running off of a cloned Super Nintendo portable system. Okay, now let's try something else. This will also play some more advanced games. Here's Yoshi's Island. With the remarkable Super FX2 chip. As you can tell, this thing runs these games flawlessly. There's no clone problems whatsoever. There's no graphical glitches, no audio problems, no slowdown. You know, this system runs pretty much one-to-one with Super Nintendo games. You will run into occasional problems with some games that won't work at all. You know, just as Castlevania 3 won't run on mini Famiclones. This thing will not run. In my case, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. Now, it's because the system itself lacks the CIC lockout chip that some games require, such as later revisions of Mario RPG. You might happen to luck out and find a copy of Super Mario RPG that is an early run revision that doesn't have the CIC chip lockout problems that actually will play on the system. But by and large, most won't. Now, one of the cool things about this clone is that about approximately here on the circuit board, the clone itself has a spot for a CIC chip. So if you happen to find a shitty sports game or some other game that doesn't work or you don't like anymore or don't want, you can take it apart and desolder the CIC chip out of the cartridge itself and then resolder it back in place on this board, and then you will have full NTSC compatibility with all Super Nintendo games that require the CIC lockout chip. It is actually kind of remarkable. So let's press start, and there it is, the Super FX chip running in its Mode 7 mode. Amazing. Now, one thing I should mention is that this thing's battery life. The battery life on this is approximately 2 to 2.5 hours. It's powered, like I said, by a 1300 milliamp lithium-ion battery that is charged by this tiny little charger it comes with. So make sure you don't lose this because it's proprietary. Okay, that's distracting, so let's turn that off. And then when you take the cartridges out, you will notice that the system itself has these tabs that are there and there. Now those tabs mean, unfortunately, Super Famicom games, such as Rockman and Forte here, will not play on the system itself because they lack the little dips that Super Nintendo games have. Luckily, the FC-16 Go is fully compatible with RetroZone's Power Pack, the Super Power Pack. One of the cool things is you can simply plug this in. There we go. Plug that in. Turn it on. And now we can play Rockman and Forte, or any other Super Famicom game that will run on the Power Pack. So let's find it here. In fact, why play Rockman and Forte when you can play something better? Instead of Rockman and Forte, here is Mega Man and Bass, or Mega Man and Bass. Which, as I mentioned before, all you need to do is plug it in to its AV line and turn the TV on. And there it is. Okay, let's unplug that and take this out. One of the more interesting things about this system is that because it will play all Super Nintendo games, you might be wondering, will it play the Super Game Boy? Well, let's find out. Blow into it. Here I have Mega Man 5 plugged into it. Let's see. What do you know? I don't know about you, but this is how I prefer to play my Game Boy games, you know. Instead of having, you know, the Game Boy Advance SP, I play on this. There's no other way to fly, man. There's just no other way to fly. Let's turn it off. Unplug it. Let's see, final remarks I can say about this system. Unfortunately, it won't play Mario RPG. It also strangely won't play my my Super Famicom data cartridge that has Super Famicom Wars on it. I don't know why that is, but I'm guessing it's probably due to the lack of the CIC chip. But by and large, this thing, you can throw any Super Nintendo game at it, you know, from Star Fox to Yoshi's Island to Mega Man 7, and it will run fine. The only other game that I have that won't run on this is my reproduction copy of Star Fox 2. Now, the reproduction copy of Star Fox 2, you know, who knows what's wrong with it. Like, when I plug that into the system, it tells me that I don't have a controller plugged in, which is, you know, kind of ridiculous because the system has a controller built right into it. But I think the problem is, I've been told that it's because this game thinks that I have, you know, plugged into the Super Nintendo mouse or something. So, in conclusion, you know, this thing costs $60. It's available from StoneAgeGamer.com. They come in 3 different colors. They have, you know, a pretty, you know, typical lifespan or battery lifespan for this kind of console. It's big. It's kind of heavy for what it is. It's fully compatible. It will play, you know, all your Super Nintendo games. Star Fox runs on it flawlessly. That's something that I wasn't really expecting, but is kind of amazing. Earthbound, you will run into the increased enemy, you know, appearance ratio when this game runs on clone consoles. But other than that, do I recommend this? If you have a Super Nintendo, probably not. If you don't, it's a good place to start. So anyway, this is Satoshi Matrix signing out. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's get the box one more time. Ooh, red and black. Nice.